All right. Well, good afternoon, everybody. It's officially afternoon now on this beautiful day in Hampton Roads. I'm Dan Bell, representing the Hampton Roads Innovation Collaborative, which is the region's tech council. We're a nonprofit, 501c6, all volunteer, I might add, formed in the late 90s and have gone through efforts such as innovation centers and accelerators and incubators and various program development, but it's all intended to help the technology community in Hampton Roads prosper, grow, and contribute in an economic manner to our region. So it's a long-term play, and it's just that you have to keep your eye on the ball and keep driving, and good things happen over time. We have a series sponsor in Cox, and I'd like to introduce Kevin McNulty to say a few words.
Thank you, Dan. Appreciate that. We've enjoyed the opportunity to sponsor the series throughout its past. For those that might not know, Cox has been a part of the Hampton Roads community for 40 years. We're currently the largest privately held broadband company in the United States. I heard in the before the official recording got started, there was some conversation about the transatlantic cables, and Cox is connected directly to those. So any of our customers in the Hampton Roads area, really throughout our national footprint, enjoy access to those transatlantic cables. Over the last 10 years, Cox has invested $2 billion in our fiber-based network, and that allows business customers in Hampton Roads, or again anywhere in our footprint, access to 100 gigabit services. So really any capabilities a business could need, we have the ability to provide that. In the near future, residential customers will have access to 10 gigabit speeds, which provides just a really robust capability. If you're a current or future Cox customer, please feel free to reach out to me about any questions about our capabilities. Look forward to the conversation this afternoon, and with that, we'll turn it back over to you, Dan. Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Kevin. Cox has proven themselves to be a great regional partner and collaborator, and we very much appreciate all their efforts. So thank you again. So health literacy is the topic of the day, and it's interesting that it's under the umbrella of Tech Tuesday. But please realize that there's a variety of topics that we like to have discussed, which are beneficial in many different ways to many companies in Hampton Roads, both technical and non-technical. And so when I was talking with folks about this program, I thought, this is a value add opportunity in terms of content. And with that, I would like to introduce Mr. Tom Chamberlain, the founder of Edlogix. And he's going to take us through some slides and some initial material, and then introduce us to his colleagues also from Edlogix. And Tom, with that, I'll hand the show over to you.
Great, thanks a lot, Dan. Appreciate the opportunity to be with you today. And Kevin, we appreciate the sponsorship of Cox. You guys do great stuff in the community, and we're really appreciative of that. I'd like to go ahead and just jump right into this. As you can tell from the title, Health Literacy, the Missing Piece of the Puzzle. And as Dan talked about, or just briefly mentioned, it's a lot of the focus of this series is around tech, and we're going to cover technology as well as just strategy of how we're making a difference in Hampton Roads. And we're going to cover a little bit about the background and history of our company, Edlogix. I'm the CEO and founder of Edlogix. We have with us today our Vice President of Product Development and Client Services, Brooke Chamberlain, who happens to be my daughter and one of the most valuable people in the company. And also our Vice President of Content, Lori Herr. They're going to both be presenting with me and to give an overview of Edlogix, a demo of the Edlogix platform, talk about our process of developing content. We're going to jump into an overview of Healthier 757 and Rewards for Healthy Living, which is a nonprofit initiative that I think everyone will be excited to learn more about. Many of you have probably heard about this. And then we're going to finish up with our growth and expansion plans and open it up for discussion. So that's kind of our agenda. And to begin with, a little bit on our background. You can see from this slide This is a picture of myself and my wife, Barbara, back in 1995. So 26 years ago, we were on the cover of Hampton Roads Business Weekly. And we were on there as an innovative organization based in Chesapeake. We're a national organization that provided innovative clinical services for seniors in assisted living facilities and nursing facilities. But my background, I have a doctorate of pharmacy. I trained in family practice at the Medical University of South Carolina. I did an ambulatory care residency program in Richmond at the Medical College of Virginia, part of VCU. And in ambulatory care and family practice, I was treating a lot of patients that came from the inner city clinics, a lot of underserved communities, a lot of minority populations that struggled from chronic conditions. And health literacy was always one of the biggest challenges. Low health literacy really is at the core of why we have runaway healthcare costs and really poor health outcomes oftentimes. So if we could make a difference by improving health literacy of individuals, helping them to better manage their health, comply with the physician's treatment plans and their medications, I thought that focusing on health literacy and building a platform that could really achieve that objective would be valuable to every individual out there, but also to organizations, states, and the U.S. As we'll see, the cost of health literacy is staggering. This slide here, which is really the title of the program, Health Literacy, the Missing Piece of the Puzzle. We believe that if we can improve health literacy of consumers, we can have smarter decision-making, healthier people with better outcomes, and fewer healthcare claims. And that's really, those areas, the economic and clinical outcomes that everyone's trying to achieve, whether you're a healthcare professional, whether you're an individual consumer, or whether you're part of the system that's paying for healthcare and providing this. We definitely need to have smarter people making better healthcare decisions. And just to kind of jump into the impact and the importance of health literacy, and health literacy is defined as an individual's ability to obtain, process, and understand health information in order to make better healthcare decisions for them and their family. And you can see from this slide, there's 90 million Americans that are at risk for preventable health problems because of low health literacy, difficulty understanding health information. It's a major contributor to poor outcomes. People with poor health literacy are more likely to visit the ER, have more and longer health hospital stays. They're less adherent to treatment regimens and medications, and higher mortality rates. In fact, those people that are having the worst outcomes with COVID are those that have chronic conditions, oftentimes as a result of low health literacy, not taking care of themselves, not managing their health or their chronic conditions. And as you can see in the bottom left, it's low health literacy is responsible for $238 billion annually to the US economy. And so we have a major issue. And if we can address health literacy, we can improve health outcomes. Health literacy has been slow to come into the forefront in healthcare, but we're starting to see this. This is an article that was published in October of 2020, where United Health Group did studies and talked about health literacy being keys to better health outcomes. They had another study, which is health literacy can improve economic outcomes and save billions. So we're starting to see the big insurance companies and healthcare organizations starting to address health literacy as a core issue that needs to be part of the treatment plan. And so what we did is by having an understanding of the need for health literacy, and I think probably one of the people that's familiar to many of the people on the call today, Maurice Jones, he has as good an understanding of the importance of health literacy as anyone. So I'd like to just share a couple of minutes of some comments that Maurice Jones, who was the CEO of LISC, the Local Initiative Support Corporation at the time. He's later moved on to be the CEO of another organization. But I'm going to go ahead and play just a short clip about Maurice talking about health literacy and its importance to our community. Just give me a second to get this pulled up, and we're going to go ahead and listen to Maurice.
Health literacy, helping people become much more knowledgeable, much more powerful about what they need to do to be even more healthy than they are, and what they need to do to make sure that their housing is healthy, and that their communities are healthy, and their schools are healthy. That's what actually contributes to developing talent that is able to be the best it can be, which is the most important ingredient to our continued progress as Hampton Roads, as the Commonwealth of Virginia, and as the country. And so for us, health literacy is part and parcel of what you need to master, to be excellent in order to build, develop, nurture the kind of talent that enables a place to do great things, enables a community to do great things. That's why health literacy is so important as a piece of the mix of the kinds of things that we're trying to invest in all across the country. Let me just close with this. I want to give a shout out to Edlogix. I want to give a shout out to Healthier 757 for the work that you're doing to actually help people master, take more control of, continue to improve their health literacy. At the end of the day, it's an investment in talent. And at the end of the day, the most important ingredient to catalyzing opportunity is healthy talent with opportunity. And that's what the LISC investments are all about. That's what our collaboration here in Hampton Roads will be all about. And that's what we hope to do all across the country.
So I'm going to kind of stop it there, but you can get the picture of the importance of health literacy to people like Maurice Jones. Now, he was focusing primarily with LISC, he focused primarily in the area of underserved communities. But the impact of health literacy, whether you're a minority population in an underserved community or whether you're in a high-end neighborhood, it doesn't matter. People still have trouble understanding their health. So health literacy is a critical piece of the puzzle. And I'm going to just kind of continue on and there we go. So what we did, and he mentioned Healthier 757, which we're going to talk about, and Edlogix. So Edlogix strategy was to build a platform that could address health literacy at scale. And the only way to do that was to take the various pieces of content and design and creativity and development and build out a platform that could address the needs and have it in a level of content that typical US Americans could understand, those that were maybe on a lower literacy level or those that are smart and educated. Everyone needs to have a better understanding of health literacy, and it needs to be delivered in a way that's fun and engaging and at the appropriate level of literacy. And so this is a diagram where our platform, the Edlogix platform, we have a technology stack that's very modern technology capabilities. We take health content in from outside sources, but as you'll hear from Lori, she's heading up a content team that develops our own content, and we work closely with other content providers and individuals in the community to build compelling evidence-based information that we think is important to the consumers to understand. We take input from our clients. We take input from our users. We understand the utilization patterns of the individuals, and we can serve up information that's personalized based upon certain demographics or preferences. So our focus really is game-based learning and gamification strategies. At the end of the day, gamification and game-based learning is a very trusted way to educate people and engage them. We use interactive multimedia, and you'll see some of that as Brooke gives a demo of the platform. As I mentioned, we personalize the user experience. So a male is going to have a different platform than a female based upon their gender, their age, and other attributes. We have a unique incentive strategy that you'll learn about. And there's got to be a what's in it for me in order to get people to stop doing the other 100 things that they could be doing at this any given moment and get on our platform, pick up their phone, get on the computer, and start learning about health. And then communication and messaging is critical. So our platform has evolved into a communications platform. And then also we have the ability to verify learning. So we understand their baseline understandings through pre-evaluation of content and understanding. And then we measure the impact of their learning post education. So we have these areas here that are built on a very innovative technology stacks, high security, HIPAA compliance, very protected health information. And we deliver this to the commercial market. So we started the company delivering it to employers. So these are primarily at the beginning, large self-insured employers that are responsible for the healthcare claims of their employees and family members. So it made sense to go to employers and try to convince them of the importance of making their employees smarter so that they can make better decisions, reduce their healthcare claims, but also the indirect medical cost of absenteeism and presenteeism, making sure that they're not calling in sick, whether it be for their own conditions or managing their daughter's diabetes. The more educated they are, the more comfortable they are, then the more productive they'll be as an employer and as an employee. We also are starting to work with provider organizations, and we'll talk about that a little bit more. Medicare and Medicaid, we're not working with them yet, but we're gearing up to do that. But one of the more exciting areas is building healthy communities, more resilient communities. And as a clinician that dealt with low health literacy in the underserved communities, I've always had a focus on delivering this out into the communities. And that's where Healthier 757 really came about, is using our technology that was initially launched into the commercial markets as well as universities, and then making it available in the community. So we'll talk about that and show you what we're doing in the Healthier 757 initiative. On this side here, you see the virtual front door and a driver to resources. Our platform has evolved into really more of an engaging platform that serves organizations as a virtual front door that can drive individuals to use telemedicine or their employee assistance programs, their various digital apps and wellness and their plan benefits. So understanding their benefits is critical if an employer is going to reduce healthcare costs and improve health outcomes. So at the end of the day, if we can drive people to use services and resources that are available to them through our platform in a customized, cool, engaging way, then we can improve health outcomes, their knowledge, and ultimately it all stems from improving health literacy. I'm going to give a quick minute and a half video of the user experience of Edlogix. So I'm going to jump into this, and then Brooke's going to expand upon it in a few minutes with a little bit of a hands-on demo of the actual platform. So this is the platform user experience. So let me go ahead and serve that up to you.
Maybe you just heard you have high cholesterol, or that a parent started taking high blood pressure medicine. Maybe your child was just diagnosed with diabetes. Maybe you just want to do everything you can to avoid getting sick. No matter what, Edlogix can help, both you and your family. Learn how to better manage your health, how to live a longer, healthier life, how to save money on healthcare costs, and have fun while you're at it. Play Health Scratch, a virtual scratch card game that pays you real cash or other rewards. Answer daily questions and earn bonus entries for playing games and earning extra points. Climb the leaderboard and increase your chances of winning. Play now, you could be the next big winner. Play games to test your health knowledge, compete against others, and win. Earn the title of Health Champion. Challenge a friend to a health match. Try to beat the clock. Play Drag and Drop. And keep your eyes peeled for fruits and vegetables in our scavenger hunt. Because after all, learning should be fun. What's hot in healthcare today? Check out our hot topics, quiz yourself, and see how much you know compared to others. Learn more about common health conditions, how to prevent them and how to treat them. Take quizzes, play games, watch videos, read articles, and more. Chances are you or someone you know takes some kind of medication. Our virtual pharmacist shows you how to take them, how they work in your body, their potential side effects, and a lot more. The internet is full of health information and advice, but not all of it is accurate or safe. Our massive library is accurate and reliable. Searching for information is easy and fast, and most importantly, trustworthy. Visit your achievements page to see your health GPA, points you've earned, activities you've completed, badges you've unlocked, and other achievements. Whether you're on a computer, tablet, or smartphone, a wealth of knowledge is right at your fingertips. You can save money, get rewarded, and improve your health with Edlogix. Start to learn and earn today.
So let me just get out of that and let me just X out of that 1 second. Trying to get out of that.
Maybe you just
Sorry about
heard you
that.
have high
It won't let me
cholesterol,
drop out
or that a
here.
parent started taking high blood pressure medicine. Maybe your child was just diagnosed with diabetes. Maybe you just want to do everything you can
Hold
to
on,
avoid
sorry
getting
about
sick.
that.
No matter.
There we go. Let me get X out of this. Sorry about that. It's not letting me hide this control here. Bear with me 1 second.
While you're doing that, Tom, this is Dan. So,
Locking up on me.
I
Sorry.
spoke to this, you'll fix it. I spoke too soon with my questions because I see a lot of the answers embedded in the material. And at some point in time, I'm sure you or somebody will talk about your target market. And is this something that end users can go directly to and acquire, or do they have to do it through their affiliated organization?
Yeah, and the answer is both. So we cover both. And Healthier 757 is a community initiative that this is free to the community, so individuals can come on the platform. We started out bringing it out to employers and universities as an organization, but as you'll hear, we're gonna kind of open that up and talk primarily about the community-wide initiative that allows people to get on the platform themselves.
That's
So I'm
great.
just going to just a couple other slides. I apologize for that little glitch. It was locking up on me. But as you can see from this slide, we can educate and empower people through our gamification to contain costs and improve health outcomes. But the most important thing, the biggest thing on this slide is engagement. And that's the most difficult thing to achieve is consumer engagement. And we've done a lot of good things on our platform. We've focused our attention on strategies to engage individuals, because once we engage them, then we feel that we have a better chance to educate them and get the outcomes that we're looking for. And this is an article that was written in Community Health Magazine up in Pittsburgh, Allegheny County. 21,000 employees is a client of ours. They've been a client for going on, I guess, 4 years. But they published an article here in their magazine in the community called Your Community, and transforming the way people learn about health. And we do that through engaging games, fun and cash rewards, and really entertaining and educating them. We also have Virginia Business published an article about Town Bank. Everyone's familiar with Town Bank, but this is an article talking about how Town Bank has worked with Edlogix. They've been on the platform for about 5 years, and they see us as unique and critical to their overall wellness strategy to engage individuals and drive them to use their other resources. This is a testimonial from one of their employees, Michelle Reingard, where she talks about how much she loves this platform, answering the daily questions, the topics of the month, the quizzes and games, and the great information on all medical subjects, and how she goes to this site several times to check on medical conditions and answer questions about her or her family, and very appreciative. So this is very common type of testimonial that we get from our employees, and very consistent. And we're getting engagement that continues year after year. So this is 2016 when we launched them. So we're maintaining overall engagement. We're even increasing it across. We have about 50+% of Town Bank employees on the platform, but very high engagement that does not taper over time like it often does with wellness programs. And the reason why it's engaging, I'm going to let Brooke kind of share that with her quick demo of the platform. And then Lori's going to talk a little bit about our content area. So I'll stop sharing and let Brooke pull up the platform.
All right, thanks, Tom. I believe Tom introduced me with my title at the beginning of the call, but I am Brooke Chamberlain. I am the Vice President of Product Development and Client Services for Edlogix, and I'm looking forward to showing you a brief demo. As you can see here, this is our platform. This is our kind of homepage dashboard. So when I log in, I'm brought to my personal dashboard. I can see kind of where I stand in various aspects of the platform. So depending on the user and what their needs are, what somebody chooses to do when they log in may vary. You might have an individual that's young and healthy, who just wants to learn as much as they can to stay healthy. They may like to play games, they're competitive or motivated by cash prizes. And you may have another user that just got diagnosed with diabetes, either themselves or someone in their family, and maybe they want to come on to learn everything they can about diabetes and how to manage it. So I like to start off by explaining how our incentive and reward engine works, since that's something that applies to everyone, and I think really helps that makes the rest of the demo make more sense. So I come in every day and I play my daily Health Scratch ticket. So Health Scratch is our proprietary incentive engine. So every day I get a new scratch off ticket. So it's kind of like a digital lottery ticket. So I'm going to come in and scratch the ticket. And my question for the day is, how much lead in the blood raises the risk of health problems for children? I'm not sure, but I'm going to guess 10. So you can see that I got that wrong, and it was actually all of the above. So you can see here, it's telling me I got that wrong. So I lost an opportunity to earn an entry into the drawing, but I do have an opportunity to learn why the correct answer was all of the above. So no amount of lead in the blood is considered safe for children. Even tiny amounts can permanently lower thinking ability. So prevention is crucial. One important step to lower the risk is to wash children's hands often. And for other ways, go to the CDC's website. And then there's also other information here you can find specific to lead poisoning. So next up, I want to see where I'm at on the leaderboard for the next drawing. So how Health Scratch works is we have random drawings that happen on a specific cadence. In this case, this is our friends and family platform. So every 2 weeks, we have a drawing for $50. So you can see in 2 days, 11 hours and 20 minutes, somebody's going to win $50 on our friends and family platform. And that varies based on the client. So depending on their budget and what works for them. And I'll go over what we're doing in the community for prizes at the end of the demo. But you can see here for this drawing, I'm currently in 14th place with a 1 in 34 odds of winning. So I don't have any correctly answered tickets currently in this drawing, but I do have 66 bonus entries. So I'm essentially earning bonus entries for everything that I do on the site. So for every 2,000 points I earn, for every badge I unlock, my GPA, and then other achievements such as monthly challenges, which I'll go into in a few minutes, and then other activities like scavenger hunt and weekly workout. So I'm in 14th place currently, but I'm going to do everything I can to get to the top of the leaderboard so I can win that drawing in 2 days. So you can see how this can get pretty fun and competitive pretty quickly. So now I want to kind of show you how some of our learning modules work. So I'm going to go over here into our learning menu, and you can see the number of modules that we have on chronic diseases, common conditions, well-being. So topics such as mental health, pregnancy and childbirth, student health, and then cancers, as well as navigating the healthcare system. So caregiving, health insurance, specialty meds, and telemedicine. And this list is continuously growing. So even if there's not a topic, even if there's a topic that we don't have a comprehensive learning module for yet, a user can most likely find what they're looking for through our library, searchable library with thousands of topics. So to give you an example, I'm going to jump into our diabetes module. So as you can see here on this progress tracker, there are several steps to successfully complete a learning module. And Tom touched on some of our pre and post assessment earlier, but as you can see, we start with a baseline assessment to see how much I know before consuming the content. And then I'll be guided through a course that consists of a comprehensive video. This covers everything about diabetes. So as you can see here, there's the basics, what to do day to day throughout the year, medications, food, and exercises. And you can see here one of our scavenger hunt items. It's kind of poking out at me. So I'm going to go ahead and collect that. So I earn some points and I'll eventually earn some entries for that. So I'm going to show you just a quick snippet of this first chapter to give you an idea of how these videos are put together.
Food gets broken down into a few different things, including glucose, which is a kind of sugar. Once broken down, this sugar flows into your bloodstream and is turned into energy for the body. But your body can't turn sugar into energy unless it gets into the cells, and it can't get in without a key. So think of insulin as the key.
So as you can see, these videos are very nicely put together and really do a great job at simplifying complicated health information using low literacy and simple graphics. So once I'm done watching that video, I'll wrap up with a quiz to assess my knowledge of that video. And then I will go through several learning activities that I'll show you here in a second, such as playing games, watching videos, reading articles, and FAQs. And then once I'm confident that I've mastered the subject, I will complete a final assessment to see how much my knowledge has improved. So I've already completed this module, but I can go in and retake that final at any time to reassess my knowledge. So you can see over here on the right side of the screen, I have this infographic here about what diabetes does to your body. So it really does a great job at visually simplifying the serious health problems that diabetes can cause in a way that I can understand. So, you can see here that diabetes puts individuals at greater risk for serious health problems from stroke, heart attack, kidney failure, amputations, nerve damage. So it's pretty scary stuff, but there is good news. There are several simple healthy habits that I can do, or an individual with diabetes can do, to keep it from getting worse. So start moving more, eating smarter, stressing less. I'm sure a lot of us could probably stand to lose some belly fat. So I'm going to click this. This will bring us over to one of our hot topics on losing belly fat. So I'll give you a brief overview of how these hot topics work. What body shape is least healthy? I know that I learned this when watching the course video, so I know it's the apple. So I'm going to submit my answer. And you can see that I got that right, and I can see how I answered compared to other people on this platform. And then it gives me an explanation that being apple shaped means you have too much fat deep in your belly, which raises your risk of heart disease, diabetes, and stroke more than fat in other areas. Being pear shaped is also risky, but not as much. So while I'm on this page, I just want to mention that we have close to 200 hot topics, and we're continuously adding new ones on timely and relevant information, from what to do in an active shooter situation to COVID-19 advice for caregivers, variants, vaccines, the list goes on and on. So jumping back to diabetes real quick, you can see that we have risk assessments. So here, someone can take this assessment to see if they're at risk for diabetes or pre-diabetes. We have information on how to track your blood sugar, checklists, and drug information. So if I was diagnosed with diabetes, I might be prescribed metformin, and I might want to go watch a video of a virtual pharmacist explaining what I need to know about that drug metformin. So next up, and in my opinion, the fun part is the games. So I'm going to show you an example of one of our games here called Drag and Drop. So this game reminds me of back in grade school when you used to have to draw the line from the word on the left to its matching definition on the right. So let's see, used to inject insulin. I know that is a syringe. A tool for measuring blood sugar at home is a glucometer. Normal blood sugar levels and a low blood glucose reading. So I'm going to guess, I'll go ahead and guess this, and I'm going to say final answer. And you can see that I answered 2 questions correct, but I did get 2 wrong. So it's going to tell me what I got wrong, so that I can kind of learn what the right answer is. And then I'll go play a second round of that. For sake of time, I'm not going to go through that second round. Normally I would complete 2 rounds. I'm going to jump back to diabetes and show you another game, Health Match. Health matches, I'm playing against my opponent and I get points for speed and accuracy. So first question is, prediabetes is a real medical condition. I'm going to say true. So you can see we both got that right, but they answered a little bit faster than me, so they got an extra point. Insulin treatment designed to be taken once daily. I'm not sure. I'm going to guess Lantus, and I got that right, and they got that wrong. So again, for sake of time, I know we've only got about 15 minutes left, and we still have some stuff to get through, but hopefully that gives you a good idea of how some of our games work. And then just to kind of show you the plethora of information we have on our modules, you can see that there's several FAQs to read. There's videos to watch, which you already saw some of the quality of our videos, but you can see there's information on checking your blood sugar and giving an insulin shot. There's several hot topics related to diabetes, learning pages so I can learn about related topics to diabetes, such as metabolic syndrome and high blood pressure, and then more information on diabetes. So one thing we hear a lot is how users really love the smorgasbord of content that we have. There's something for everybody. There's quizzes, games, videos, and articles. And then I'm just going to kind of briefly wrap up here before I pass back to Tom to show you how some of our gamification features work and how we uniquely engage individuals on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis. So you saw our daily health scratch already. So I'm going to show you our spin the wheel, which is another one of my daily activities. So I'm going to spin the wheel, and hopefully I'm going to get some free points here. And I did. So you can see I earned 3,000 points. So I got some bonus entries into the drawing, and you can see there's several in here. If I landed on this one, I would earn double points for any drag and drop games that I played today. So you can spend that 3 times a day. For sake of time, I'm going to just show you that one. We also have a weekly workout. So every week I get 6 new activities to complete. I've already completed one of those, but as long as I complete them all by Sunday evening, I'll get 5 entries into the drawing. And then our monthly activity. So we have a monthly challenge. So this month we have a monthly challenge on caregiving. So if I complete the caregiving module by the end of the month, I'll get 10 entries. Tom also mentioned how the platform is different for a male versus a female. So you can see here in the recommendation engine, we recommend activities and they're personalized to me. So they're based on my age and gender and topics that I've indicated that I'm interested in. And then we have several other games. For sake of time, I really probably don't have time to show you any more games, but you can see that we have games on all of our topics. So our chronic diseases, common conditions, well-being, just using mental health as an example, you can see we've got several games specific to mental health and then all of our other topics.
Okay, this is Dan. If you'd like to cover a bit more, we do not have to do a hard stop at 1 o'clock on our account. Now, people may need to on their own, but it's up to you.
Okay. I won't skip. I was going to skip over a couple others. I'm just going to show you a brief overview of some of our other modules. So, something we can all relate to, and a module that I periodically review is our our coronavirus center. So I want to make sure I'm up to date on all things COVID. We know it's always rapidly changing. So you can see we've got a plethora of information on vaccines, symptoms, COVID and mental health, FAQs. We've got games, so very similar, but also customized to the topic. There is different information and types of content on each module. As you can imagine, this module is being constantly updated as guidelines change and new information becomes available. And then another hot topic and a really critical topic is mental health. So this is our mental health module. You can see we have content on addiction, anxiety, bipolar disorder, depression, eating disorders, stress. We've got meditation apps, several risk assessment surveys. So you can see what your risk for addiction or anxiety or PTSD may be, different ways to get help. We've got instant stress busters. So this is a breathing exercise just to kind of help you, relax and reduce your stress. So there's several games here, FAQs, and then lastly, I'll jump into one more module, which is workplace health and safety. So this is all about staying safe and healthy on the job. So reminding people, get up and stretch. If you work at a desk, office workers can sit up to 15 hours a day. So taking breaks throughout the day. If you're working specifically in the field, turn your cell phones off. They're distracting and raise the risk of accidents. So we have several, many different types of content that we link out to in our workplace health and safety. These all link out to different, whether it's a game, a hot topic, a quiz. So a ton of content available on several topics, as you've seen. I think I'll probably wrap it there and pass it back to Tom, but hopefully that gives you a good idea of the typical experience for a lot of our users and how we've been able to successfully engage our users and improve their knowledge in a fun way. That was probably about 5% of the platform. We have a lot more games, modules, and activities, and I was able to show. So Tom, I'll pass it to you, and I believe we're going to pass it over to Lori to give an overview of the content.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks, Brooke and Dan. We appreciate you giving us a little less than a hard stop at the top of the hour. We started a little bit after the hour, so we're going to go ahead and turn this over to Lori to talk a little bit about our content development. And as you can see, the platform is loaded with really practical information and content. So Lori, I'm going to just pass this over to you and jump to the next slide. There you go.
Thanks, Tom. Hi, everybody. My name is Lori Herr, and I'm Vice President of Content for Edlogix and Healthier 757. And as Brooke was showing you, we just have a vast library of content. This just kind of gives you a quick overview. We have over 40,000 pieces of unique healthcare assets, and that includes original content, such as what you were just looking at, the infographics, slideshows, articles, games, quizzes, everything that you just saw in Brooke's demo. Our content team has had a hand in. There's over 75 formal learning modules on common and chronic conditions, cancer, well-being, navigating the healthcare system. And as Brooke mentioned, we keep a special focus on timely issues. As you can imagine, coronavirus and COVID-19 have kept us very busy the last 2 years. Mental health, opioid abuse, vaccines. Brooke showed you workplace health and safety. We've also got home and outdoor safety and more content. There are 5 learning hubs that bring together sort of like broader topics such as coronavirus, mental health, student health, healthy aging, and cancer. More than 160 hot topics that Brooke showed you, such as COVID-19, the truth about vaccines, coronavirus and work, anxiety, suicide prevention, even your health and in the environment. One of our most popular hot topics is how to stay safe in an active shooting, and there are just many more topics to choose from. It's a comprehensive suite of interactive health games, thousands of videos on medical conditions, health and wellness topics, lifestyle changes, and medication use. These are through our licensed content providers, and then there's a library of searchable healthcare topics. So Tom asked me just to talk quickly about just sort of our content creation process. As you can imagine, we have a great responsibility that we take very seriously into ensuring that our content is not only fun and engaging, but also up to date and accurate. And to make sure that we maintain our accuracy, we work very closely with our clinical team. So we have an editorial staff of writer and another writer and editor besides myself, and we work with a team of clinicians, one of whom is a mental health specialist. And so we have a very careful process of creating content where we, all of our new content and existing content, as we're producing new content, it goes through 2 steps of clinical review, so that there are two different clinicians reviewing the content at different stages to ensure that no errors slip in accidentally, and making sure that it is accurate. We also use only approved sources. Everything is evidence-based, and so we rely very heavily on the CDC, the NIH, national health associations like the American Heart Association, American Cancer Society, and nationally known medical journals. So we take every step that we can think of to make sure that our content is accurate. Our existing content also goes through clinical review periodically to make sure that it stays up to date with guidelines. That is a very quick overview of our content, and I will pass it back to Tom. Thank you.
Great. Yeah, thanks, Lori. Content absolutely is critical. We can't afford to have anything out there that's inaccurate. So we have a very strong team and we work closely with our advisors from the outside as well. So just continuing on a little bit, now, which we had a little bit more time, but what are the actual ability, what's the ability for us to improve learnings? And this is another article that was published in Allegheny County in Pittsburgh, that game-based learning can boost your health knowledge. And we've studied, as I mentioned, pre and baseline knowledge assessment. You can see the scores here. The green represents the A's and the red represents F's on baseline knowledge assessment. So you can see we're across the board. What happens to the changes in their knowledge assessment after they've gone through the platform. You can see significant improvement in knowledge. They almost on average about 96% after they've gone through our learning modules. We have the ability to look at it individually. This is a very similar way, but you can see in this column here, represented by the red triangle, after they've gone through our knowledge modules, you can see that they have very strong high 90s in their final knowledge assessment. We also have the ability to look at individual areas like, for example, heart failure and recognizing the signs of edema. On baseline, their perceived knowledge was 2.83 on a Likert scale that went up 34%, 35% on how to check their blood sugar levels. So we not only do knowledge assessment, we also look at perceived knowledge of that individual. So we got a tremendous amount of data that we're collecting as we go. We can also look at real time, what are the topics that are of interest to our population, whether it be town bank employees or the community at large that we'll talk about in a few moments. But you can see in 2019, sleep health was the #1 topic that was sought after by the individuals across our entire platform, followed by back pain and heartburn and asthma. But you can see in 2020, not surprisingly, coronavirus shot to #1. Anxiety went from number 42 to #2. Addiction went from 19 to number 5. So these were to be expected, but we can go in and really look at not only the topics, but the issues that they're looking at. And we have very high consumer satisfaction scores. 93% of the individuals say they learned things they didn't know about previously. 92% said that the platform was very informative. And probably most importantly, 80% of the individuals say they've either changed or plan to change their behavior based on what they've learned. And a high percentage, 90%, say they'll use the platform for other topics. What's interesting is our platform has really become an engagement platform more than anything. And clients are looking at us as a digital front door. Because we have very high login rates, us as a vendor has more login and engagement than any other vendor of these employers that we sell to. We have significant use of resources and daily platform use. So because of this, we have the ability to bring eyeballs in, and then we use our daily visibility to promote other vendors. We can engage them by giving them points to click on other vendor resources like their EAP program down at the bottom, their telemedicine providers, looking at their mental health counseling. So importantly, we have earlier adoption. We can dramatically reduce the time from when an individual starts understanding that they might have an issue or starts looking into it to the time that they actually seek help from a counselor, from a provider, or from another resource. And so our ability to steer them to those vendors and utilize those vendors is extremely important. And the way that we do that, we can promote it on our Brooke showed you our homepage. So this is a banner here where we can promote Livongo, their disease management program, or Teladoc, their telemedicine provider, and then bring them to the actual resources right in the platform. We do this in our community, and we'll come back to that, but we also have the ability within the telemedicine module to actually promote Teladoc, which is a service provided by an employer, Allegheny County in this case. So not only will they learn about what telemedicine is, they can click on the Teladoc promotional link and then go right to it and sign up. Another example is in our diabetes module, in a metabolic syndrome module, they can go to Livongo, which is a diabetes counseling, zero copay, and the ability to learn about what their counseling can, their resources that they can use to help better manage their diabetes. So we have the ability to sign up right here. So we're improving utilization, improving awareness and utilization of products and services that they should be using to improve their health outcomes and save costs to that employer. And then we have games like Fact or Myth that we didn't have a chance, but this is about Allegheny County. This is a Fact or Myth game about their vendors like Teladoc. In this case, I can get a prescription through Teladoc, Fact or Myth. It's a true or false game. And then they get the answers to those once they stop playing the game. So there's a lot of different ways that they can get information through game-based learning, and really that digital front door is useful in the community. And we launched Healthier 757 a few years ago, which is a public health literacy initiative designed to improve health and wellness of the Hampton Roads citizens and the economic prosperity of our region. We believe that we can utilize the platform that's being promoted in the commercial markets and use it to improve public health and reduce health disparities. Obviously, building healthier communities, social determinants of health, and reducing health disparities is a key issue right now. And our platform is well designed to go in and help these individuals in these under-resourced communities, and working by aligning with municipalities throughout Hampton Roads, our community health organizations, the various nonprofits that you're all familiar with are partnering with us, and then working closely with the chamber and employers and universities and school systems. We want to get to the youth, and an important partner of ours is the libraries that allow us to get access to those people that oftentimes don't have access to the internet and use the library for that. So if we can build a healthier Hampton Roads, we can create a model that can be replicated in other cities. So that's our goal, is really to build out Healthier 757. We launched this 2 years ago on the campus of ODU with our partner, which is a nonprofit organization called Global Action Platform, and they're based in Nashville, Tennessee. So ODU was a partner on this. We launched this to the community about 2 years ago. And what we've done is formed a nonprofit entity to bring in charitable gifts that we can make this available for free to the community. We created a Healthier 757 steering committee. And then we partner with our nonprofit organizations, universities, and others that I've mentioned to promote this on their websites, to bring it out through their newsletters and their various corporate assets. We have media promotion through radio, television, podcasts, social media. This is a commercial that was launched in November on National Diabetes Month, and it's also going to be launched on WTKR, and we had commercials on Wavy TV 10. I'll just show you this real quick.
No rush on time, Tom. We've got the recording going, and you can cover whatever you want.
Okay, good, thanks.
Find a wealth of information on your health and how to feel your very best. It's fun and interactive. Plus, you could win a monthly prize of $500 and be in the running for a grand prize of $5,000 at the end of the year. There's lots to learn, from easy stress busters to understanding your medications. Check out rewardsforhealthyliving.com to play games, win prizes, and make healthier choices. It's free to everyone in the 757.
So you can see from that commercial that we're out there promoting this through various channels. We're also putting infographics out throughout the community and flyers that are distributed by the local food banks. We have promotional bookmarks that are being distributed through the public libraries. This is an example of one of our bookmarks. We had one in November that focused on diabetes, the infographic that you saw from Brooke's demo. We're actually gonna be promoting flyers on mental health in the month of January, in addition to more commercials and also interviews on Coast Live on the Hampton Road Show. So we're promoting our platform through a number of different ways, including publications in these magazines. So we've been able to get our word out through publications, through media, and through local and national speaking engagements like we're doing right here today. I'd just like to kind of begin wrapping up, and I apologize for feeling a little bit rushed, but I appreciate the extra time, Dan. Let me go ahead and just share a little bit about the comments from Barry Duvall. We spoke on Healthier 757 at the annual meeting of the Chamber of Commerce last year. Barry Duvall was the keynote speaker after I spoke about Healthier 757. And here are a few of his comments. And I think it's important for our region to really partner up and really build an innovative region in Hampton Roads. I think Healthier 757 is part of that solution. But let me go ahead and play Barry's comments.
Win. And I think our entrepreneurial spirit has to be there. The entrepreneurial spirit that I see in this room, those of you that are business owners, but those I see that bring forth new and innovative programs. Tom talked about Edlogix. Innovation. Innovation will be the key to this region's future. Let's grow our own businesses. Let's grow our own technology companies. Let's grow our own and create an environment where this region in Virginia becomes known as a innovative Commonwealth. And even with all of those, we will not succeed as a Commonwealth, and we will not succeed as a region unless we have this last element, and that is leadership. It's going to require leadership. It's going to require people who know where they're going and can take other people with them. It's going to require people that have a vision for this region and a vision for the Commonwealth that can paint a picture of what we need to do and how we need to do it and take others with them. And it's going to take a partnership with the business community and those in elected office. And I want to submit to you that the Virginia Chamber does not.
So I'm going to stop there and just reiterate a couple of the things that Barry mentioned. And I think it's an opportunity for us in this region to really become innovators in health technology and job creation. And we think that health literacy is an economic driver for workforce productivity. A healthier region will attract businesses. They want to hire people that are healthier, more productive, less costly. And we think that health literacy is absolutely a fundamental asset to workforce productivity and economic prosperity. And I know that Governor-elect Youngkin is a big fan of what we're doing, but you can see Barry he understands the importance of improving the health of our region. All individuals in our community, those that are in the under-resourced communities, the minority population, the seniors, and we're working with organizations in the community. And this is an example of just in the Chesapeake region where we're working with various organizations, and we're doing this in Portsmouth, in Virginia Beach, but we're working with the Public Health Library in Chesapeake. The organization Healthy Chesapeake is very engaged with using our platform and getting it out into the community. We're partnering with ODU Center of Global Health to do a lot of the research, if you will. The health department of Chesapeake Regional Hospital is very engaged with what's going on. And then the other areas of the human resources and parks and recreation and tourism. So we're working with all these organizations, and they're building solutions around Healthier 757 and leveraging our technology to bring it out into the community. We have students at universities that are bringing it out into the senior care settings and using our platform, putting it on a big screen, playing games and helping to educate them around blood pressure, around diabetes or healthy aging. And then lastly, just kind of wrapping up, we think the benefits to Healthier 757 region, or the 757 region, is improving our health, addressing health disparities and reducing healthcare costs. We mentioned about workforce productivity and economic prosperity for the region. But I think that we have the ability through this unique program that we've launched and are really perfecting in the market and bringing it out to other cities and other communities, but having a reputation of being an innovator that's focused on health equity and building healthy, more resilient communities. So with that, I'll kind of just wrap up. I'll just wrap up with this one last comment, because we did a lot of research when we went into these communities, and we asked the urban strategies case managers that are dealing with a lot of the under-resourced communities. And we asked questions like, what do you like best about the platform, and what would you recommend it to others? But at the risk of jumping over a little bit, I'm just going to play this because I think this really says a lot about the platform.
What I really liked best about the platform was it was very informative and very informational when it came down to diabetes and high blood pressure. I really enjoyed that right there. I was so captured in it that I kept playing, and I wanted my points to go higher, higher, and I wanted to win the $500, and I was just clicking on my mouse, and I was just going, and I had to just cut it off because I was getting it was overtaking my mind.
So I'm going to stop it there, and basically the platform, as you can see, is well received by individuals. But in the last minute, Dan, if you don't mind, I'll turn it back over to Brooke for a second, and then we'll begin wrapping up.
Absolutely.
Okay. And essentially, you can see that we're trying to transform the way consumers learn about health. But Brooke, if you want to bring up rewards for healthy living and show a few things, that'd be great. And then we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, so you saw the demo of the platform, which was our friends and family platform, and Tom spoke a lot about what we're doing in the community, but I want to make sure everyone understands that this platform is available for free to all 757 residents. So you can just go to rewardsforhealthyliving.com, which you see here on the screen, to register or log in. And the prizes in the community are really great. So on the first of each month, we have up to $500. So we actually have a first place $500 winner, second place $300 winner, third place $100, and then fourth and fifth place are $50 donations to two of our local food banks. On the 15th of each month, we have prizes from local merchants. So these are typically staycations. So we've had several organizations throughout the community put prizes up. So we've had the Cavalier has given an overnight stay with a gift card to their restaurant, Becca. We've had the Glasslight Hotel in Norfolk provide an overnight stay. And then we provided various gift cards in the Norfolk area. We've done Portsmouth, Newport News, Williamsburg. So really great prizes in the community to kind of learn more about maybe some different areas that you may not explore in the community. And then on December 31st, so what's that, like 16 days, 17 days away, somebody in the community is going to win a $5,000 jackpot. And that is a yearly thing. So every year we have a $5,000 jackpot in the community. So a lot of incentive behind it. So I highly encourage everybody to check out rewardsforhealthyliving.com and sign up, and maybe you'll be one of those lucky winners. This is the Rewards for Healthy Living platform. So you can see that, it's very similar looking to the Friends and Family platform I showed. You can see that actually in 10 hours, so tomorrow, there's going to be a drawing for a Hampton staycation. And then just one quick thing I thought I'd show on the 757 platform is this 757 Did You Know game. So we built this in collaboration with 757 Proud. So this is featuring one of our games, and it's content specific to the 757 region. So interesting facts about the region. I'll just go through a couple quick questions. The first group of African-American students to attend white schools in Norfolk were known as the Norfolk 17. I'm going to say fact. I got that correct. So that's pretty interesting fact about the region. The 757 region is home to all 5 branches of the military except the Marines. I'm going to say myth. And you can see I got that correct. So again, for sake of time, I'm going to go ahead and walk away. But typically, you keep playing, you earn points. For each question you earn bonuses for streaks of correct answers. And then you can answer up to 3 questions wrong before you strike out. And then when you're done with the game, I'm going to go ahead and walk away, but you can see that there are rationales for each question in this game. So in this case, it explains the Norfolk 17, and that we have all branches of the military in the region. And we can do this for, any topic. We can customize content and graphics throughout the site for communities, for clients, et cetera. So unless there was anything else you wanted me to share, Tom, on Rewards for Healthy Living, I'll go ahead and I think we can wrap it up there.
No, I think you guys get the picture, and we encourage you to spread the word, go on, start learning, get your family members involved, try to get others in the community. We really want to make Hampton Roads the most health literate region in the nation. And we're going to do that through every vehicle we can, through viral promotion, TV, radio, and programs like this. And Dan, we appreciate the opportunity to go over the overall strategy of Edlogix in the commercial market, but more importantly, what we're doing for Hampton Roads. We think we're onto a really innovative strategy, and we can really do good for our region and really address those that are most in need, those under-resourced communities, and those that are most vulnerable to low health literacy. So with that, I'll just turn it back over to you and see if there's any questions that we could answer. We appreciate the opportunity. Thanks, Dan.
Certainly. If anybody, we're wrapping up here, so if you've got any questions, you can enter it into chat, or you can just activate your mic and go forward with that. But what I would like to say is that I think this is just a fantastic program. I really appreciate what you're trying to do. The platform is fantastic. In my previous corporate America life, I managed organizations that had 600, 700, upwards to 1,000 people in it. And something like this would have been tremendously valuable for us, as we saw people walking in with, with jugs of unhealthy drinks first thing in the morning. And we tried to create, health related programs back in the day. But something like this would have made it so much easier and so much more compelling. And what you're doing for the region, I think, is just fantastic. As I send out the video to the registrants for this and beyond through our HRIC website, if there is a link to your slides, if there's anything that you want to include, I know the slide materials itself might be pretty bulky with the video built in, but however we want to do that, if that's something that you want to do, I'd be happy to include that, so that as we promote what this is all about, it's fairly comprehensive and people can get a pretty good view and then go for the deep dive after that. But I applaud everything that you guys are doing. It's organizations have come to realize that a lack of healthy employees is a direct impact to the bottom line. Direct impact to the bottom line with the cost of health benefits and the impacts even beyond into levels of customer satisfaction, et cetera. So it's and of course now with the COVID situation, it's a whole different dimension altogether. But just if you extract COVID from the general perspective of health literacy, and you guys talked about all the key things, and so many people suffer from these things, and they don't need to, if they can just get a hold of the right materials and the right examples and make it fun and easy to obtain knowledge. People can go a long way, and they transfer that information to their friends and family as well. So I'll limit my comments to that, but I think this was fantastic. We've got a minute or so. Any other questions from the crowd? Rick, go ahead.
Yeah, I second what Dan said. Quite impressive what you've built. What came to mind as you were going through all that was the question of the folks in this region, the ones who most need the health literacy that you are trying to promote. We have an awful lot of folks here who have issues with both digital access and digital literacy to make use of those platforms, and beyond that, English literacy. And I wonder if you got any comments or have seen issues with that, because somebody who doesn't understand all that you can present, because you're all smart, educated, and very passionate. How do you engage? The engagement piece is what the question's about.
Mhm.
How do you get those folks that really need it engaged? And you rely on your employers mostly to do that.
So
For
it's
your
easy in the
customers.
employer setting. That's a great question, Rick. And the digital divide is still real. Those that really don't understand or have access. So we're working with the libraries to educate those people that come in. We're working with that guy, Dwayne, that was the one who loved the platform.
Yeah.
He's a case manager that he's using. He'll be using that platform to educate his individual clients and family members. And then we have like the Western Tidewater Free Clinic and these other clinics that can actually sit Mary Jane down in front of a computer and learn about diabetes, how to measure her blood glucose. So there's a lot of different ways, or using a granddaughter that has access to a mobile phone to educate their grandmother or their parents. So we're looking at all kinds of ways and we're studying the impact. We're not going to get to everyone, but we think we can get to a lot of people through those distribution channels. The Hampton University School of Nursing and Gerontology are going in to the senior care settings and educating those people. So it can be one to many, even though it's designed to have your own platform on your own phone. You can plug it into a big screen and teach people or teach families. So it's a great question, but and play games. And we have volunteer Hampton Road, Stephanie Gorham. We're working to get dentists and pharmacists and physicians to go into the library to teach people about oral care or to teach them about diabetes. So there's different ways to use our platform to address those that may not have access or digital literacy.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, great question. Any other questions on that before we do a couple closing comments?
No, just to also address Rick's question about the communication of the individuals and families in the community with low health literacy. We have been having some engagement with Cox Communications and presenting the platform for Cox consideration, but also during our recent discussion, we talked about, through that collaboration, really utilizing Cox initiative to target at-risk communities, maybe with some lower rates for internet connections. And so we're hoping through that collaboration that could provide some opportunities for some of these at-risk neighborhoods and families to have access, to our platform. Because one of the things that, I don't know if we mentioned it, that the platform actually is designed for people with as low as an 8th grade reading comprehension level. So it really already addresses, those low literacy needs and understanding. So we feel like based upon that, it really would be very useful to most people in our communities.
Yeah, good points, JR. JR is on our team out in the community making things happen. And I would just like to add that we have a lot of employers that have worked with us for years. Allfirst was our first employer client about 7 years ago. And then we had Town Bank for the last 5 years, Port of Virginia, Centerra's coming live, and we're working with a number of organizations, but we're real excited about the free platform being made available through foundation grants and charitable contributions. And so that's kind of the strategy. We're working through the chamber and through Hampton Roads Alliance to push this out into the community for small employers that can't afford to pay for their own custom solution. They can give it to their employees to improve their health literacy and make them more productive employees. But at the end of the day, as you said, Dan, it's economic prosperity. A smarter region is a more productive region. We hope to be part of the RVA 757 Connects region, and we look to expand into healthierrva.org, doing what we're doing in Hampton Roads and bringing it up to the Richmond market. But a lot of good opportunity, and if there's any final questions, we'll take those. But other than that, we'll begin wrapping up.
Okay. We will start wrapping up. We'll be done in 10 or 15 seconds here. So last call for questions. But speaking on behalf of the Hampton Roads Innovation Collaborative, I want to thank you and your team for a great presentation. Extremely worthy and valuable content and mission, most importantly. And so I truly believe in it, and wish you all the best, and we will do whatever we can to help you promote and spread the word. So
thank you.
I'll loop around with you. And again, if there's any link to slides or whatever that you'd like me to include in my communication out with the link to the video, I will do so. So any other questions? I don't see any. Thank you one and all. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and enjoy the warm weather while it lasts. And our thoughts and prayers to everybody that got impacted by the killer tornadoes. And if although there's always value in that, there's greater value in helping out. So,
Thank you.
if that's
Very-
all.
Well said.
All
Thank
right.
you very much.
Thank
We
you.
look forward to partnering with all of you and bringing this out to every individual that needs it. Thank
Very
you.
good. Thank you again.
Take care, Dan.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Dan.
Bye.
Guys.